Okay, so now let's try to hire a worker. So I will create a new pre-hire and then let's give a first name, as let's say, James May, okay. And we go to the contact information. James May at Testcom, and then the type is work. Alright, and then click OK. That's all we need to do when we create a pre-hire. And then it asks for the hire date. Let's put yesterday's date as the hire date. And then the reason. The reason is, let's say, new position. That's fine. Employee type is regular. And the job profile is the one that we created yesterday. EVP sales location is New York. Okay. And then we click on Submit. So after we click on Submit, it goes for the open. Sorry, the proposed compensation hire task. Right, the proposed compensation hire. So let's open that. And let's review what does I mean. What is happening here? You see, the package has to default. Okay. If it is not defaulting, that means there is some problem with the way the rules everything has been set up. The package has to default. If the package does not default, none of the other components will work correctly. Okay, grade and grade profile will work anyway, because they have been assigned directly to the job profile. I mean grade is there and job grade profile will be picked up from the location. So these two things will work. But if the package does not work, then your salary allowances other options will not get defaulted. So it is very, very important that the package defaults correctly. Right. So you see here the package defaulted, which is the WW compensation package. Grade is managers or above. That is what we selected in the job profile. And then the grade profile has been chosen automatically based on the country. The base pay range is there, and let's scroll down a little bit. You see the salary plan has been added. Right. The salary plan has been added and let's click on the edit to put in some salary. So it gives you the range $50,000 to $80,000 US. Let's put the salary as $65,000. That's it done. Then what happens if I scroll down? You see, the allowance is also available directly. Right. The allowance is also coming up automatically as $1,200 US monthly. This is what we had already done. So if the package defaults, all of the other components will automatically default. Right. And you see how easy it is. I just had to enter the salary amount and that's it. It's done. So as a recruitment consultant or as the person who is doing the hiring, I don't have to worry about which salary plan to choose, which allowances I need to give to the particular worker. Based on my eligibility rules, it will all default automatically. You see the way the eligibility rules are working now. Now let's hire one more worker in the London location. Okay. So let's see how it will make things a bit different. So I go to hire, and let's say I go to hire employee. Now create a new pre-hire. And let's choose a country to be United Kingdom for the pre-hire, just to make it a bit consistent. OK. The naming format should also be from the UK. So let's give it a name like Richard Hammond. OK. And then, OK, the legal name has to be in capital letters. And in contact information, let's give some email address. OK, and it is type is work. Click OK. And then it gives you the option to create a new pre-hire. If it doesn't give you the option to create a new pre-hire, no problem. You create a pre-hire separately and use that pre-hire in your hire employee task. Not an issue. OK. OK. So you can create a pre-hire separately as well. OK, so job profile is EVP Sales. That's the one we have been using so far. And the location. Let's use the location as London. Alright. Now hundreds of London. Let's try to choose the correct London. It has to be a business site. This looks to be the correct London. OK. And that's it. Click Submit. OK again, so we have to do the compensation. Now let's see what is happening here. Let's scroll down a little bit. So our package is added. You see the amount, the total base pay range now. It is 40,000 to 90,000 British pounds. Right. It is British pounds. No longer US dollars. Why? Location. The location we have chosen. We have chosen the location as London. And it qualifies for the eligibility rule. That is country, United Kingdom. Isn't it? So that is why the total compensation, etc., is now in British pounds, and you see the range 40,000 to 90,000. That is the range we have defined in the Great Profile, which is managers or above in the UK. Right. That is why it is coming up like that. And now in the salary. You see in the salary also, if I go to edit it will give you the range 40,000 to 90,000 British pounds. You see, the currency is British pounds, automatically chosen, I don't have to do anything. I designed the eligibility rule in a manner so that whenever I do, the compensation actually these things will automatically fall in place. So what is the amount? Let's say, I give 70,000. 70,000 British pounds. Now let's scroll down and see the allowance. The allowance is, you see, 900 British pounds. It is not US dollars, because it is based on the location, right? It's based on the location. So that's why it is coming up in this fashion, 900 British pounds. Let me click on Submit. Once the package defaults, everything will fall in place. You just have to enter the value for the salary, and that's it. So we have hired 2 workers, James Me and Richard Hammond. One is in New York. The other worker is in London. Now let's try to hire. Let's create one more job profile for a non-manager, right? I mean non-executive level staff, because if we go back to our compensation package, let's look at our compensation package, and it is called WW compensation package, right? Let's look at it and see what do we have? So we have only managers are above as our compensation grade, and in the compensation plans, we have the salary plan and the car allowance, and the car allowance is only for executive vice presidents, right? So let's try to create a job profile, which may be manager or above, but not an executive vice president, right? We don't want an executive vice president, we only want a manager. Let's say, and we want to see whether that worker gets the car allowance or not. Write in the car allowance eligibility rule. I'm opening up the eligibility rule in a different tab. So it says that the eligibility rule says that the management level has to be 5. Executive vice president, right? That is supposed to be the management level. So if we choose a different management level as part of our job profile, right? So that means this car allowance will not work for that particular job profile because the eligibility rule will not be met. So let's create a job profile first. Okay, let's call it as let's give it an effective date, let's click OK, and let's call it as WW. Okay, sales manager. Okay, and the management level is something we will choose. So we will choose a 6 manager. Alright, so let's choose as this one manager. Okay, I've chosen the management level as a manager, and that's it. I don't need to do anything else apart from the compensation grade, so let's put in the compensation grade managers or above. Okay, so I put in the grade. Right, but I've chosen the management level to be that of a manager. That's it.